Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey, what's up? Thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where me and my homegirl Erin gonna let you know what happened on Drag Race All Stars Season 10, Episode 7. Everybody, please, round of applause for Erin.
Hello, everybody. Answer up. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday the 13th. This is a lucky day.
It is, it's only like recently modern Western culture looks at this holiday as a -1. So,
it's a lot of negativity going on, but we're going to bring some uplift.
Right? Here we go.
Often as we can, dagnabbit, because, child.
Bracket number 3, Purple Team. Here we are.
Yes, y'all. We are in the home stretch, as they call it in these sports tournament competitions. We've gotten rid of bracket 1, 2, now 3, and child. I predict it's going to be, I don't know, to me, they seem a little more mature than brackets 1 and 2, but I could be mistaken.
It's interesting because every different bracket is definitely a very different flavor. They were like, although Acid Betty is obviously, and Diabet, actually the Bettys are very direct kind of people. It still feels like there's more maturity, like you said, in this bracket than there was in the last bracket.
Do you think age matters in this bracket? Is people a little longer in the tooth?
Well, you have some serious veterans in this bracket.
There you go. They about their money. They ain't about no foolishness.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's gonna be some foolishness because when you start off with something like this, it's gonna be.
Yes.
What do you call himself? Rue Charles and Mimi Visage.
Yes.
So they're giving us a little so-called Howard Cosell, the OGs, like the aunties and aunts know what we're talking about. The Howard Cosell of it all. Okay. A very famous sportscaster. May he rest. Anywho. So they're giving us the lowdown, the what's going down episode of the tournament of Drag Race All Stars. And they're just giving us a little, little something from before, but we already know what happened. We already know. We got 3 from bracket 1, 3 from bracket 2. Now we're about to get these last 3 so we can really get it on. And they just don't know what's in store, child. You know how they do. So we have a correspondent in the locker room, Mr. LaRoche.
He's funny. You could tell he's trying to get into it. You know what I mean? Like, give him maybe. He's not terrible, but he feels new. He feels fresh out the package.
Yeah, like that wig, that Howard Cosell wig.
Yes.
Girl,
right? Exactly. It's all right.
There,
I'm not mad at welcoming him to the judges' rotation, but I feel you're still a little new, Law. You're still a little new.
Hey, Bruno. I see you, baby. You ain't got to fuzz that up. But yeah, apparently LaRoche mentioned just some stiff competition going on. I said, I know that's right. But it's a little weird if they stiff and play all them games. But anyway. But yeah, so we're here for the tournament. We're here for the tournament. So just to give you a quick review of who bracket 3 is, here they are.
Denali.
Go ahead, girl. Looking cute. I like that.
This is Acid Betty.
All right, Acid. Look, I'm 7'7". Oh, shoot.
Yep. She was on Bob's season, original season.
Is she a part of the alien crew or no?
No.
Okay.
I
That's that.
would say she inspired probably the alien crew, but
Oh,
this is
well,
another Betty, Betty.
no relation.
No. Not
Not
yet
like the
in
other Brooks where somebody
no.
was 4 times removed.
Right. Yeah, no.
But yes. And now our fifth.
Cynthia Lee Fontaine with her
Yes.
cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Her cuckoo. Yes, mi amor. And Alyssa Hunter, her fellow Puerto Rico sister, hermana.
Something tells me she's gonna be the good Ariana of the group as far as fashions, but I don't, we'll see a little later because it gives me something about how Ariana did, with her fashions.
Ginger Minge.
Yes, Mama. She's about her paper. As you see, she got a pocketbook in her hand, like Aretha used to do. I ain't leaving my pocketbook around for nobody to take mine.
This is
And
like if
that's old
Reba.
school.
This is like if Reba McEntire got fat and joined Designing Women. But listen, Ginger Minge has been on Broadway. Ginger Minge is incredibly talented.
Yes.
Ginger Minge is a force, and I don't care. I'm happy to see her back.
Good for her. And this is her fourth at go round at it.
It sure is.
This is her second. I know she's had 2 drag race, and this is her third All Star.
She's been on Drag Race regular season once. This is her third All Stars.
Ooh, third
Yes.
time to charm, half a gone. Ooh, and she get all 3 weeks? Oh, girl.
And you know what though, and I don't want to jump ahead, but she's already proven she's entertaining TV, so it's all good.
That's why I'm thinking like I think she's my favorite. Something's giving me fave vibes. But I do like Alyssa. I don't know. I like that. I like that kind of them kind of outfits where they be showing it off like bam. Anyway. So they all lining up, hearing all what's going on. This is what Rue was telling them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rue was explaining the game. Pretty much they're gonna do the whole showdown. They top 2, they get 2 points each. The winner of the top 2 gets an extra point, gets them 3. Then the bottom 4 will have to divvy their points up to whoever amongst the 6 of them. They can give them all to one person. They can switch and give them all to each other, kind of make it kind of an even keel as they start, which I think they should anyway. Maybe they will this time, so that everybody is on a board at week 1. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they will. Oh, I hope they do. I hope they do. Anyway, so then they explain the maxi challenge, which is going to be Wicked for Good. And they have to give a bewitched look for the runway. And they'll be working in pairs. So instead of 6 individual, we'll have 3 coupled looks. And they're not supposed to look like who's in the movie Wicked. Don't duplicate it. Give us your own rendition on top of their own backstory for each I guess costume, I guess
persona, I guess.
Yeah. And they did really well. So that's pretty much how this is going to go. Real quick, we ain't going to be here long, y'all. Just a real quick boop, 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 the bam. But again, to remind you, this is how we started off. See, we got all 18. So now we're down to 6 winners. We're gonna get the last 3 with this go round. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Good. Now to the workroom drama. The girls is getting all familiarized and everything, starting off. Oh, you and you. So apparently Alyssa, the one with the white hat turned to the back, and Daya, the one that says I love me, right? That's Daya.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of had a beef on their season, so now they're kind of, trying to work out and pick teams and everything. Alyssa wanted to work with Daya, but Daya's like, no, I don't want to work with you. And it seems like almost everybody wants to work with Acid. So that's the one dressed in that Monsters Inc. outfit.
She designs most of her own. Oh, I think if not all of her own costumes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's very creative, very talented.
No wonder everybody looking at her, but she was talking in this clip, y'all don't think. But pretty much about 3 or 4 girls wanted to work with Acid, and she just kept looking like, me, like, what? What's going on? So they paired up, and by the time they paired up, that's when Rue came in, and Rue want to know what they're working on. You know how they do. So that's the Puerto Rican posse.
Yep.
Power to the people. Hey, we with y'all. We with y'all. They are telling Rue about what they're gonna do, going on everything, and they just, I like Rue's outfit. I had to, get a little full view for that. I'm into monochrome. I'm into a real nice 2-piece. You know what I'm saying? Not basic color, but just some if it's a houndstooth, I'm in it. But I love me a good 2-piece, whatever. Ooh, yes. But anywho, what do you think about them?
I this is the other queen who I absolutely love their personality as Cynthia Lee Fontaine. So I'm just gonna enjoy her like I did Nicole Page Brooks. This season, or this segment. So they're just adorable together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are. They're super cute. And it's I don't even care if they win. I'm just enjoying like I said, the personality.
Mm-hmm. Next on the list, we have Daya and Ginger Minge. So just a real quick from my understanding, they both have talents that will balance each other out and hopefully create a masterpiece. At least that's what Ginger Minge wanted. She wanted someone who she can compliment and vice versa, and she can pick up something. I think she's a little lax on sewing. Was that my understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she's just looking for someone to compliment her, someone she can learn from, because apparently Ginger Minge has it real great up in her head. She got it going on up there. So
Yeah.
she's
Well,
very creative.
I think it's obvious Ginger is an excellent performer, incredibly expressive, just funny,
Mm-hmm.
all the things. So, and Diabetti's not bad at performing, obviously, but you would want to pair with somebody that's extremely strong in performing and very
Right.
different from you, just,
Mm-hmm.
by design. So, yeah, this was a smart pairing.
And it showed off in their performance. I
It
mean,
did. Mm-hmm.
if you have, now we can't show you video and we can't do, we can show you still. So when we get there, just know if you haven't watched the episode, please do. It'll give you a fuller, broader appreciation for what they're doing when we see all of this collaboration at the moment. Next, we have Acid and Denali looking, oh, so I want to go home.
It's funny, like I thought the iced coffee thing was stupid. It just didn't work for me. Like I kind of get what I get how it could appeal to someone, but it was not my vibe.
Yeah, if someone who writes really well could have wrote something a little better, make it more funny.
Yeah, I mean it
You
was
know.
it I honestly thought all three of the groups did pretty well with their concept and execution. I think it
Yeah.
just you to obviously pick whatever story monologue kind of thing like you thought was like the most effective in being a funny creative story and well executed visually, all the things. And
Mm-hmm.
like I could appreciate the theme of the iced coffee, but like the whole like it was a volcano and a skating. I don't know. It just like it was just not my favorite. I just was like, you're gonna go from that to iced coffee, okay? Whatever.
Yeah, one was fire, one was ice. Of course,
Yeah.
Denali is the ice skater, and
Yes.
Acid Betty is the fire of the competition of drag. So they wanted to combine that. And when you see what now the outfit is bomb, wait till we get there. But like Aaron said, kind of fell flat a little bit.
Yeah.
So after all of this, they're getting ready for their runway. It's runway time. They've picked their partners. They got all their fits. They know what they're going to say. They've recorded them because when they're performing, they're lip syncing to what they've already dubbed on the Memorex. Yes, I said Memorex. If you know, you know. And here comes some surprise guests. Wicked and Wickeder. And they're, all ecstatic. And as you can see, they're getting into drag and everything. And they're just getting some helpful hints and they're getting loved on and everybody's loving on each other. Everybody's complimenting everyone, And both Cynthia and Ariana are talking about how they're twinning and didn't even know that they were going to wear something that's similar, which is kind of cute, Okay, blazers and something short with some platforms. Okay. I'm not impressed, but I don't have that type of style. It's all good. Did you like their outfits?
It's all right. I mean, they've been on a heck of a press tour. They've definitely had some cool outfits, but I will say I'm a bit over the gaga-ness of it all because I realized they shot this like a year ago, but I'm oversaturated by the Wicked stuff. So it's kind of more like I just don't really care. No offense, ladies. Enjoyed the movie. It was good. But this is a little late in the game for the Wicked references.
Little late.
Yeah.
So now that we're done with them, we're going to get into what we really came to see. The runway, the looks, and figure out what the heck is going on and the points and carrying on who won. So, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Cover girl. Ooh, child, my throat. Well, they did try to change the song up. We should just go back to what I like, but I ain't nobody. I'm just commenting. So this is Rue. Everybody knows Rue. Hey, Rue. Looking cute. Looking like some foil.
Like a baked potato. R.I.P. Jiggly Caliente.
Hello, may I help you? I'm Mrs. Foil. Yes, mama. Looking good as always. No matter what, she gonna look good. We just be talking, girl. We just be talking. And of course, our judges, the incomparable Michelle Visage. Where the gray at? Just noticed that. Where the gray at?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't like this look anyway, so meh.
Blazer. Another blazer. La Roche looking skeptical. Okay. I don't like the glasses either. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
And our two judges looking very judgmental.
Yes.
Cynthia's like, and she's like,
funny.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. So yes, we are back to the tournament runway, and we have the first of the three couples. As we mentioned, Ginger Minj, Minj, and Maleficent. Alyssa. No,
Diabetes.
Gaia. Child. Don't you like Maleficent? Was that so? Girl.
Well, this outfit kind of looks like Alyssa Hunter's entrance look, and then she does kind of look like Maleficent too. So I can see why you got a little tongue-tied there.
Ginger got on Rue's wig. What's she doing? So, like we said, please watch the episode because they, in our opinion, they had the best challenge, effort, and all that. It was a lot better than the other two. However, they still look good. All six ladies.
Yeah, I have to say I enjoyed all of them. There wasn't one where I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Because, even this one with the magic chancla, that was funny. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, I really think their dynamic together is very cute.
It is. And if you can't tell, they're holding up a star representing Puerto Rico. Just to let you know, because you can't tell, it's a representation of Puerto Rico. So again, I'm just letting you know, it looks kind of like the Cowboys insignia, but it is because they were talking about their love of their home country. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very cute, but they just looked a little bit, like they said, I will agree, they looked a little more costumey.
Or is it their ethnicity? Are they from here? I don't want to.
No, they're Puerto Rican. Yeah, that's their home country. They both are. Yeah, you got it right.
And lastly, we have Fire and Ice, Denali and Acid Betty. See, I told y'all they look great, but we don't want iced coffee.
Yeah, that was just the weakest storyline to me. I thought, I thought that they looked good. I didn't. I thought Law's critique of like, oh, I see what you did with safety pin. Well, the
Ooh,
other
that was a
ladies,
ooh,
it was,
child.
but like, you kept
Oh,
saying that, but like
embarrassing.
Alyssa and Cynthia did it all together with hot glue. So, it really doesn't matter how you get there. It matters how you look
That part.
for this kind of challenge. So,
So let's just say, who looks better, this one or that one?
the former.
This one.
Yes.
For me, I like Denali's white ice look, and I like Alyssa's red thing.
Right. Well, yes, I'll give you that. I do think that um that both of them maybe have like a stronger one of the pair that I could like more, but I thought that Denali and Acid Betty did look a bit more polished, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They all, like I said, it was really, really close with all three. It was only because
Yeah,
I thought, um,
the
well, I'll
story.
just say, I thought the story and the costumes for Ginger and Diabetes were a bit superior. That's why they won. But
Yeah.
honestly, all three of them were super cute. It was really not like, it's kind of hard.
And speaking of winners, you know who? There it is, Ginger Minj and
Diabetes.
Gaia. I said I knew it, but then I keep thinking Alyssa.
It's
I
all
don't know
right. I'm
why
here to help.
Alyssa's in my head. Maybe
It's
she's my
okay.
favorite. I don't know it.
The trade of the season.
But
um,
yeah, they both got top two, and they're gonna lip sync for their legacy to the defying gravity song from Wicked, where both I can't tell who that is. Dina Menzel and somebody's Chenoweth.
Kristen Chenoweth. That
That's
was from the
Kristen.
original Kristen Chenoweth. Adina Menzel or
That's who
Nazim
was
as
singing.
yes,
Girl, Kristen sings like that.
she does.
Wow. You know what?
Yeah.
I think I may have the. Is it two different Chenoweths that's going on in the business?
She's the little tiny spindly blonde lady that talks like this. That
And
talks
she's
kind of
probably
like a
40
baby.
something by now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I
her.
knew.
Yeah, no, she has a hell of a voice. She's a singer.
Yes.
Yes, they were on Broadway on Wicked. Idina Menzel is Taye Diggs' ex-wife. She's also an accomplished singer on Broadway. She's also she's the voice of Frozen. She's Elsa.
Okay, I just saw the original Broadway cast because I was thinking, this from the movie? No.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, they
so
didn't.
okay,
Because
cool.
I don't think they wanted to pay for that or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, so no, they did the Broadway original of Idina Menzel, or as John Travolta called her, Adele Nazim.
No, he
But was
didn't.
yes, yes, he did. Yeah, that's a notorious flub on a an award ceremony that she's become forever associated with, and Kristen Chenoweth.
Now I am familiar with Kristen because before I read the third line where it says the Broadway,
Yeah.
I was thinking of the movie, even though I haven't seen it yet. Don't throw tomatoes at me, y'all. Don't throw tomatoes. I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. But okay, that explains it because I was trying to picture Chenoweth, and
Yes,
I remember that name from this little blonde lady who's
it's who it
middle
is.
aged, who can sing. So I'm
Yes,
hearing all of what you're saying. It's yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her.
yes. She
And
played
she has
Glinda.
dimples.
She played Glinda.
Yes. Okay. Good for them. Singing
Mm-hmm.
their behind off. I mean, it was a
Yes.
very overwhelming song. It made India what's what call her India Ari. It made it made Ariana tear up. It's one of
Yeah.
those like Pavarotti, like very intense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you, it gathers you. Yes, it gathers you in to where you would have to you would emote some emotion. And for Ariana, it was tears. For me, I was so really like, wow, who is
Mm-hmm.
singing? Because I didn't really pay attention till I, started to comment. But yeah, good for them. Um, the winner was Ginger Minj.
Yay, Ginger. I love Ginger. So I'm cool. I'm fine with it.
Is that Crush Velvet? Is that Velvet? Mm.
Probably.
So they got their points and everything. The ladies are congratulating them. They're backstage getting to their points, pinning each other with their points, talking about how perhaps they could, do this thing to the end. I mean, you got it going on. Yeah, you got it going on too, girl. Well, what's up? You think you want to take it to the end? Well, girl, we could take it to the end. All right, girl, let's hug on it.
Yep.
That's what I heard. Is that what you heard?
Pretty much, yes.
Oh my gosh. And a little untucked for you. Excuse me. A little untucked for you, right? These ladies are up in arms about what they're going to be talking about, or how they're going to get these other 4 points. They don't know if these two got the points, then they're going to distribute them out. But they do know that they were told that they will each get a point and have to distribute them. So their mind was at ease a little bit more, but they're still a little worried about what they're going to do. They're talking about, should we have an alliance? Well, you're not supposed to announce, should we have an alliance? Or is that just me?
I mean, typically, no. In the past, alliances have never been announced. People haven't been very good at hiding them in the past. But this is also like a brand new thing where the tournament, I think, is throwing everybody and all the conditions because I was trying to think back and, let you chime in on this. I
Yeah.
feel like each bracket has responded differently to trying to figure out what like it means to like apply your own points. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I feel like Mistress right away was like, how can I scheme this to my advantage? I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the other ones are like, well, if it says the most valuable player, does that mean does it have to be who we really think was the most valuable? Or like, like I mean, like some of them, it's just interesting where their imagination allows them to even contemplate because a lot of them are not contemplating doing anything underhanded because it's like they almost don't even feel like allowed.
Yeah.
So they're just not devious like that necessarily.
Well, I hope all four ladies, the bottom four, give each other a point so it's a more of an even playing field going into week two.
I could see it easily happening because they were on teams. So, like, if I had a point, of course I would give it. Like, if I were Cynthia Lee Fontaine, of course I'd give it to Alyssa and vice versa. You know, like I think that that's because they did a team exercise right off the bat. They created some
Mm-hmm.
loyalty about that makes it interesting, or it makes it straightforward. Maybe I think what you're saying is exactly what's going to happen. The other teams are just going to give them to each other.
And you know how Rue likes to give a clue, like they did with the lever and the badonkadunk.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually 17 because it was season 17. So perhaps this will jog someone's brain matter into thinking, well, let's just all be on the, like I mentioned, give everybody a point. So no one's left out. No one feels like they don't like they're targeted. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they did mention feeling like, someone may not be a part of the group, especially with Daya and Alyssa having this. Well, Alyssa, catching feelings because Daya wouldn't be her partner, but that's only because they had, a little something from before that's obviously not resolved because they're both, playing into it, a little bit. So yeah, I hope they do. It'll just make it a lot easier. You know what I'm saying?
I think they did this on purpose because I think they want to have a different uh approach than the last bracket. So I think that they did this team exercise on purpose to kind of get the
Mm-hmm.
vote to be even. That's what
Yeah.
I think. I think we're watching production steer the story. So, and that's fine because I
Yeah.
don't necessarily need it to be I don't need it to be I don't want it to be the same each bracket. That's kind of one of the benefits of having three different groups is there really are three different chemistries and like, cast dynamics.
Right. And if someone is as, diabolical as Mistress uh, uh, Brooks,
Isabel Brooks.
then they're not showing it at this time because Mistress showed it day one.
The only one, honestly, I don't think any of them are like that. I mean, I could see Ginger and Dia probably maybe being two of the most potentially willing to do it. But that's mostly because both of them like really, I think, want to win,
Yeah.
not because they're like their propensity is to be shady, and that's Mistress Isabel Brooks like MO. She kind of
Yeah.
played into her persona perfectly. And I don't need too much of that on my plate. I only need a character or two. I don't want too many supervillains. That's a really strong flavor on the plate. So I
Yeah.
don't
It ain't that deep. I mean,
know.
uh, and if
So
you have to cheat to win, to me, that sounds shows a little insecurity on your part.
I don't
Just
think she's gonna win.
you know.
Well, for the very reason that we think that she's good TV is why I just don't think she'll win. I don't think RuPaul will crown someone who like kind of was villainous that way to get to the top. I think she'll go far, but I do not think she will win.
Something tells me after the end of episode 6, when Mistress gave her spiel about Carrie Colby, something tells me a conversation was had or more discussion was had on that stage, because they cut off real quick. It was like there was nothing left when they usually, give a little more after that particular part when they, know who's going. Like, especially with bracket 1, they actually filmed them a little more on the stage. But this one, no, they didn't. Some tells me somebody was talked to.
Well, the magic of production, they definitely use editing to their advantage, so it would not surprise me.
But y'all, we have the 2 top, and we have Ginger Minge as the top. And we're going to see how this plays out for week 8, which will be the second week of bracket 3. We hope you guys are watching the show. Like I said, you get so much more appreciation when you watch. But we do appreciate you watching us too, so we can give you the lowdown, the what's going down episode of Drag Race All-Stars Season 10. Well, y'all, think that was it. Anything more about the show? I don't think I have anything left.
Nope. Here we go. Bracket 3.
Yeah, my notes. That was it. All right, y'all. So before we go, let's find out where we can find Erin when she ain't talking with us.
You can find me on Instagram at psychic_ELB, and on Threads at psychic_ELB. You can also find me on Facebook, Psychic Erin Boyd. If you would like to get a psychic reading, please hit me up in the DMs.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. All right. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will catch you next time. Bye. All day.